Thanks for taking a few minutes to join us. My name is Tom West. I have with me Aaron Johnson of our MakuSafe team. We wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you about how MakuSafe can be a powerful connected worker solution for today's manufacturing organizations. So I'm probably dating myself, but how many of you remember this scene? This was the I Love Lucy show. This is a rather infamous episode, which was quite hysterical. Lucy and Ethel went to work in a chocolate factory, and the production operation swiftly started moving too fast, and they had to eat as many chocolates as they possibly could, stuff them in their pockets and their hats. What I didn't remember about this episode is that there's a safety poster right behind them. This kind of scenario actually continues to happen today in all kinds of manufacturing operations where production systems, production processes put people in a context of not operating safely. Aaron?
Yeah, so, and as we are all trying to drive to do things efficiently and more productive, sometimes there's these tremendous pressures on the productivity side to get the product out. If you've seen that scene, the production worker comes in and yells at Lucy and Ethel, hey, get this stuff out, don't let anything go by. And so it's really kind of, in a funny way, pointing out a lot of the real pressures that we have today about productivity. But we know that there really is not a way to separate productivity, quality, and safety. They're all in the mix, and we need to come up with a way to integrate those concepts together so we're working in tandem together, thinking about all three things at the same time. And you've probably been hearing a lot about definitions about things like what is smart manufacturing? What is IoT? What is the connected worker? There's all sorts of buzzwords that are happening today. I just did a quick Google and said, what is Industry 4.0? Looked at some of the leading organizations out there and kind of the way they defined, these terms. Industry 4.0, smart factory, and looking at the factory of the future. All of these definitions certainly go straight to the idea of technology and data and putting things together. But we believe there's really one big piece that's missing in this whole conversation, and that's the worker. Our goal today in this conversation is to help put the worker back in the center of the conversation and back in the center of what it means to truly have a smart factory.
So this concept of the connected worker being integrated into the factory around them is now made possible very easily, very effectively, very economically by virtue of having a MakuSafe device on the arm of every worker throughout the facility. This robust bit of technology enables the connected worker. If you haven't heard that term before, really the connected worker is this integration by using tools and technology, integrating the people into the environment around them to attain significant benefits in the vein of enhanced productivity, enhanced collaboration, optimizing efficiency, and through gathering data, we can enable better decision making, not just about safety, but about production and operations. Why is this such a big deal? Well, according to recent research, the connected worker market is valued at about $5 billion today. And really the projections are for 6x worth of growth in the next few years. So there are these objectives, these goals, these business initiatives that you're probably hearing in your operation, in your organization today, things that you're trying to achieve. How do we utilize business intelligence? How do we enhance quality? How do we optimize for efficiency and productivity? How do we attract and retain workers in the face of worker shortages? What about this path that we're on, that most organizations are on, towards digital transformation? How do we use AI, artificial intelligence, and ML, machine learning, within our organizations? And probably other things that are being discussed as well in your business right now.
So as we, MakuSafe, began our journey and focusing originally on this concept of safety and helping organizations understand what that means from a data-driven standpoint, we quickly realized that the workforce was being left out of this digital transformation when it comes to the workforce, the connected worker. But we also kind of realized that safety was being left out of that equation too as well. And as we've said, you can't separate those things in reality. They all have to work in tandem. So we found that bringing that safety conversation back to the forefront through the use of the connected worker, through data, aids in understanding efficiency and productivity. A good friend and a safety professional, Scott Gaddis, did a survey and an article not that long ago, really kind of speaking to this fact that the safety data has been woefully inadequate or left out of the equation. How do you also digitize that part of your workflow so that you can bring those things in parallel together? And certainly you can see the statistics here, and you can put in your own context, what kind of safety data are you collecting? How are you organizing it? And how is that working in tandem when it comes to the entirety, the systemic look at your workforce, your productivity, your quality, and what have you?
Yeah, there are all kinds of problems and challenges really associated with this, but the objective really would be to have the right data at the right time about the right things in the right format. So if you know a little bit about MakuSafe, you realize that with wearable technology, we're monitoring for hazards and risks that worker in the middle of your screen. We're looking for experiences and exposures in real time. But quite some time ago, we realized that we could also see interactions between workers, like in the top left, and that put us on a path really to begin to understand worker interactions with other connected systems and equipment, worker interactions with things in the factory. What are they using? Do they have the credentials to use that equipment? So this really started us down a path working with clients on connected worker integrations within automated environments, smart factories, if you will. So the wearable device really gets us an awful lot of attention, and that's first and foremost out there in front, the hardware. But at the heart of what we're doing really is our cloud analytics and intelligence platform that we call MakuSmart. And you can see illustrated here that we not only can take in data from our wearable device in real time, but we can take in data from other third-party sensors, from other connected systems and equipment, from production operations. We can feed that data to create more automated environments, feed that data to other systems. And we have a very, very robust layer of artificial intelligence and machine learning that we can use to provide real-time intelligence, not just for safety applications, but really aimed at enhancing productivity and enhancing efficiency within the organization. So what does that look like? Well, in the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see a piece of hardware that we call Interact. This is an add-on piece to the MakuSafe ecosystem. In the top left-hand corner, workers check out a wearable device, which is armband worn. Really, they don't have to interact with it at all. They simply go about their job, go about their day. With this additional piece of hardware, we're able to tie into any production systems and equipment throughout a factory. On the right here, you'll see various entry and exit points, various workstations, various work areas, production operations that are all enabled with this MakuSafe Interact technology. What that enables us to do is see when workers are present in those areas, when they enter, when they exit, and more. Aaron, you want to speak to this?
Yeah, so when you think about what could you learn, what is the data, what are the types of things that the connected worker, what value would that bring to your organization? You can look at who, basics, where, time, how long they've been there, the duration, their credentials, as Tom mentioned, about whether or not the worker has the proper training to work at a machine or at a workstation, and do that all in an integrated way, because there's a lot of benefits that can come from that. You just think about your own contacts. What are the benefits, potential that come out of this? Certainly the automation control, being able to speed up, slow down a production line, again, access control, cost accounting, safety. There is a almost virtually unlimited benefit when you think about the ways, if you knew where someone was and how they could interact with your factory, what kind of benefit, if you asked yourself that question, what would you be able to come out of that? And there's a world of possibilities in the variety of situations that are out there.
And there's this movement, not just within the world of safety, but within organizational excellence, if you will, to understand what work processes really look like, what good days look like, what bad days look like. Sometimes this is referred to as the blue line, black line discussion, so that we can build capacity and resilience into production systems to ensure that people are safe and also ensure that we're optimizing productivity and efficiency. Imagine having that data at your fingertips in real time. Go ahead, Aaron.
No, I was just going to say, one of the anecdotes that I really like to share when it comes to this thinking about what could this be used for. We originally had deployed our safety tech for a customer during COVID. And out of that, there was a request, hey, since the devices know how far they are from each other, can you create a contact tracing report so that we can, understand, how to keep our workforce safe? And then from that conversation, it quickly moved into, well, then if I know how far they are apart, then I can start to design that work the way and perform that work the way we want it to design, because they started to see, well, there's a few workers that seem closer together than the way we thought they should be on a production line. And then that conversation quickly moved into, well, let's redesign the way we're doing work in order to do that not only efficiently, but safety. And this slide really kind of shows out how not only the example of the connected worker and how they integrate into the productivity and the operation side, but this is how we add safety back into the conversation, because at the same time, with the same device, the same wearable, we're able to collect those environmental conditions and human physicality components to see where that work is also being done in a high, safe and in a good physical way. And then you can lay it out in the software and see where maybe there's particular departments or areas of your building you need to have to take a look at. So again, it's both of things together. It's connected worker for productivity. It's the health and safety component overlaid, work together, so you can see the entirety of your organization from a department level to a facility level to even across different locations across the globe even. And as you begin to think about, okay, in your context, how do I start to think about this? What are the different areas of where you work, the types of work that you do, where if you knew there was a person there, what would you be able to do with that data? Not only from the work safety and health standpoint, but also from the productivity standpoint, and all of the things that you could learn from your own factory, your own data, because ultimately that's what smart manufacturing is about. data isn't just there to tell you what you already know. Data is there to bring you value, to tell you something you don't know, to give you something actionable, whether that's creating a different environment for health and safety, or whether that's changing how you do work because you can do it in a more productive way. And how do you raise that whole level within your own organization? So Tom and I have a few questions that we want you to kind of leave you with thinking about for your own situation, as we kind of wrap up this conversation around the connected worker at the smart factory.
Yeah, thanks. And I would also add to this, the ability to very, very rapidly establish a common data set, establish a common language, and break down silos within your organization between the safety folks and operations and production folks and engineers is truly a benefit. But consider for a moment, back to the Lucy example. What if your factory could be responsive to worker presence? What if production operations could learn, sense, and be responsive to the number of workers that are on each line? It's a very, very common problem that people are pulled from line to line throughout the day, work multiple tasks. That can be a huge advantage, just understanding where people are and making sure that production operations speed up or slow down in response to the number of workers that are present.
Yeah, and in parallel to that, I mean, you probably, or many of you have situations where you have to have trained credentialed workers, qualified workers on production lines as part of your control plans, as part of your own certifications, part of the promises that you make to your own customers. And how do you prove that? One of the ways you can do that is when you have a worker present and their credentials are part of their profile that says, yes, they're capable of working on this line. And that way, you can ensure that you have the proper training and that they're the ones that have access to the equipment or the production line or what have you. And if they don't, then you have an opportunity then to say, okay, we need to get some training done here, or make sure that all your systems are working together efficiently.
Yeah, what if you could visualize the productivity and the output of work teams? Why is it that this team of 3 people, when they're together, are just as productive or maybe even more productive than these other teams of 5 or 6? What is it about work as designed versus work in reality that makes them different?
And then one of my most favorite things about the way the system has been designed is this distributed look at what's going on in your organization. What if every worker in your building was collecting environmental data, no matter their location? And we think about sometimes we have requirements about heat stress or noise levels, and we'll do a sampling. Or I tell the story, well, the thermostat on the factory wall says it's 72 degrees. Oh, we must be good. But then someone who's working in the back corner near a machine that's putting off heat is experiencing something completely different. You have the opportunity to really see, again, in this very comprehensive systemic way, what is happening throughout your entire organization. So then you can put in corrective actions, make changes to your facilities or the way work is done. Because again, if we wrap the bow around this conversation and thinking about quality, productivity, and safety all together, when you increase the environment and make things safer and better for your worker, that worker tends to be more productive and that quality goes up. And that's how we tie all these things together and integrate safety, productivity, quality. They're all interrelated. And you have, one simple solution here that gives you at least a lion's share of a look at where you might be in your organization when it comes to those 3 parallels.
So thank you very much. We hope that the last few minutes have helped you better understand some of these concepts and also, more importantly, how MakuSafe can really open the door to a lot of these possibilities and help organizations achieve a lot of these outcomes or undertake a lot of these business initiatives that are becoming increasingly important. Learn more at MakuSafe.com/industry. We have a page there with a bit more information. Certainly you can reach out and contact us and schedule a demo. We would love to learn a little bit more about your operation and have a discussion about how MakuSafe can help you achieve some of these business initiatives. Thank you.